first graders, welcome back. We are going to be diving into Chapter 3, Lesson 8. Here's what you will need. You're going to need your GoMath book. You will also need your pencil and some crayons. And last but not least, you will need your red and yellow counters. Once you have all 4 of these items, then we can get started. Let's look at our I can statement for today's lesson. It says, I can use make a 10 as a strategy to find sums within 20. We have learned about making a 10 before, so this might be review for some of you. Let's take a look at page 125. At the top, it says listen and draw. The directions say, what is 9 plus 6? Use red and yellow counters and the 10 frame. Model and draw to solve. Listen to the following problem. How can you use a 10 frame and counters to show the sum for 9 plus 6? We are going to use our 10 frame in our math books, or if you have this one printed out, you can use this one too. First, we are going to put 9 red counters inside of the 10 frame because our problem said 9 plus 6. Let's count out 9 red counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we can use our 6 yellow counters below the frame to show 9 plus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now our counters show us 9 plus 6. How can we move the counters to make it easier to add? How can we make 10? What if we use one of the counters down here and move it into our 10 frame so that now we can make 10? We have 10 counters in the 10 frame and 5 counters outside of the 10 frame. What new addition fact does this model show? It shows us 10 plus 5. Now we can solve. What is 10 plus 5? Well, if we have 10 here, we just need to count on 5 more. After 10 comes 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That means 10 plus 5 is 15. Do you think it's easier to solve 9 plus 6? Or 10 plus 5? It's easier to solve 10 plus 5. We can see that we have a 10 and we only need to add 5 more. That is why it's helpful to use the strategy make a 10. Now let's use our crayons to draw what we showed in our 10 frame and outside of our 10 frame. First, we used 9 red counters. Let's draw 9 red counters inside of the 10 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we used 1 yellow counter that we moved inside of the 10 frame. In total, we used 6 yellow counters. That was 1. Now we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have drawn our 10 frame and the counters outside of the 10 frame. and this shows us 9 plus 6 equals 15. Let's turn to page 126. At the top, it says Model and Draw. Why do you show 8 in the 10 frame to find 4 plus 8? Put 8 red counters in the 10 frame, then show 4 yellow counters. Let's take a look at this one here. Why did we show 8 red counters inside of the 10 frame instead of 4? Well, it's going to be easier to start with the greater addend so that we can only fill in a small number inside the rest of the 10 frame. Now that we have 8, we only need to put in a few more here in the empty spaces of our 10 frame. Let's look at the next model to see how we can make a 10. It says, draw to make a 10. Then write the new fact. Notice that we have 8 red counters in the 10 frame. But we used yellow counters and we moved those yellow counters into the 10 frame. We used 2 yellow counters to fill the 10 frame. How do the numbers in the fact change when we move the counters? Well, our first addend is going to be different now. It's going to be bigger. Since we made 10 by moving our 2 yellow counters, now our first addend is 10. Then our second addend is smaller because now we only have 2 yellow counters outside of the 10 frame. So our second addend is 2. Now let's add. 10 plus 2 equals 12. Let's take a look at the next part of our page. It says share and show. Use red and yellow counters and a 10 frame. Show both addends. Draw to make a 10. Then write the new fact. Add. The problem says 9 plus 5. The model shows us 9 red counters inside of a 10 frame. It also shows us 5 yellow counters outside of the 10 frame. How can we make 10? Let's use our red and yellow counters. We can use 9 red counters inside of the 10 frame, just like we see on the page. Then we can use 5 yellow counters outside of the 10 frame, just like we see on the page. How do we move one of the yellow counters to fill the 10 frame? Well, let's just take one yellow counter and move it to the empty space here. Now we've filled our 10 frame and we just made 10. Let's draw what we showed in our model on our page. Let's start by showing our 10 red counters inside of our 10 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops, 9. Now we need our yellow counters. We showed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now our addition sentence is different. Our new fact is going to have a different first addend. The first addend is now 10 because we made 10. Let's write 10 at the top of our new fact. Our second addend is different now too. Our second addend is now 4 because that's how many counters are still outside of the 10 frame. Let's write 4 as our second addend. Now our fact says 10 plus 4. 10 plus 4 equals 14. I want you to do numbers 2 and 3 on your own. Remember to use your red and yellow counters and then draw them on our page. Pause the video here so that you have time to work on numbers 2 and 3 on your own. When you're finished, you can unpause the video and we'll check back in and see how you did. Let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 shows us 7 red counters and 4 yellow counters. Let's start by drawing our 7 red counters inside of the 10 frame. Your next job was to move some of these yellow counters to fill the rest of the 10 frame. 1, 2, 3. Since we're adding 4 plus 7, and this is only showing 3 plus 7, we still need 1 more outside of the 10 frame. Now our addition fact says 10 plus 1. 10 plus 1 is 11. Let's look at how you did on number 3. Number 3 shows us 9 red counters. You should have shown 9 red counters in the 10 frame first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you should have shown 8 yellow counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you should have added. Our new fact is 10 plus 7. 10 plus 7 equals 17. Awesome job. Let's move on to our next page. Page 127 says on your own. Numbers 4, 5, and 6 are going to follow the same routine as the previous page. You're going to use your red and yellow counters and the 10 frame. You're going to draw those red and yellow counters here. Make sure that you draw to make a 10 and fill out the 10 frame. Then write the new fact here in these boxes. Last, you're going to add to find the sum. That's for numbers 4, 5, and 6. Number 7 is a little bit different. It says, what strategy would you choose to solve 7 plus 8? Why? For this question, you are going to think back to all the addition strategies that we've learned. What addition strategies have we learned so far? Well, as a review, we have learned doubles. We have learned doubles plus 1. We've learned doubles minus 1. And we have learned to make a 10. These are all the strategies that we've learned so far. I want you to pick the one that makes the most sense to solve 7 plus 8. Just pick one. Then you're going to also explain why. Your sentence frame will sound like this. I would choose blank because blank. Don't forget to use a period at the end of your sentence. Great job on today's lesson, Chapter 3, Lesson 8. Remember to finish up page 127 on your own. either take a picture of it in your GoMath book, or you can always complete it here on Seesaw. Either way, I'm sure you will all do an amazing job, and I can't wait to see how you all did. I will see you all very soon. Bye!